I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. The board, before you have, we have a copy of the board meeting minutes from last meeting. Are there any other edits or comments? If not, can we get a motion to accept?
Motion to accept the board meeting minutes from last time.
Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Ben does with second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Moving along with our department reports, Chief Gary.
Yeah, really, nothing too significant this month, nothing on personnel, nobody coming in or leaving. Training outside of the department, White Huff completed the basic passenger vehicle rescue course last month. He's actually registered for another one that started tonight up in Monroe County. We normally don't take courses up there, but they had a course that had low registration, and they were opening it up to Livingston County guys so that they could do the course. So he's up there tonight taking that course, which is a good opportunity.
Is he also interior certified?
Yep, he's one of our 10 interior guys. We had the drill here last month with the ladders up on and Dave was running the cutting station there. We did the volunteer fair and our banquet. And then we sent 234 and a crew over to East Avon for a drill last week, and then last night we had the auto extrication drill. We were able to cut up a vehicle, which was a great practice. We don't get to do that all the time, so that was good. Calls for the month, a little bit lower volume, but higher numbers of actual fires. We had a few mutual aid building fires and a couple vehicle fires, an unusual one at the quarry there down on number 6 road, which is somewhat interesting because like 90% of the gravel pit is in Lima, but the entrance is in Honey Falls. So when there's a call there, it's their call, but you know the actual pit, most of it is in Lima. So anyways, we were there to help them out. They had a fire in the asphalt tank there, and one of the heaters that was heating that up, so we were there for a while on that one. And then upcoming events, just kind of the normal stuff, except for we're starting to get into some of those summer events. We'll be supporting the Memorial Day Parade, the Mendon Parade at the end of the month, and then our regular drills, and then the 4th of July activities. In July, we don't do any planned drills. We support the Hemlock Fair, which means we're down there 2 or 3 nights supporting the demolition derby and the truck pulls and stuff like that. And it's pretty manpower intensive, so we don't schedule drills on top of that. We get enough practice down there with auto extrication prep and vehicle fire stuff. Grants, the DEC grant that was previously approved, we bought all the equipment. The equipment was inspected by the ranger. Cordell came over and inspected the equipment, approved everything we purchased, and he said it could be up to 60 days to get the $3,500 reimbursement in there of the $7,000 we sent, so that was good. The pallet of water grant that I applied for, I just actually got an email about 2 hours ago saying we did not get that one. We still have a couple of other grants that we're waiting on, and then I applied for another one last week, which was a National Volunteer Fire Council $10,000 grant, and we asked for one multi-band radio, which is about $9,000. So we won't hear from that for a few months. The FEMA grant's been delayed again, has not opened up. They don't know if it's going to or how much money. So, you know, that's I think 5 months now delayed so far, and there's no indication of when it's actually going to open or if it will. And then hopefully the end of this month or next month we'll hear about the New York State grant and where we are with that. We closed out the Pumper 234 transition with Alyssa. We had originally earmarked $75,000 out of the truck fund. All told, the expenses came in just under $38,000 for that, so we did a really good job, I think, of making use of some equipment that we had and repurposing it for 234 and some of the mounts and stuff, so we did good and tried to be really conservative with expenditures on that. The tanker got the tires last month, so that's doing good. Pumper 235 this month is having an electrical issue, so we have shoreline power over there, so when the truck's not running, we plug it in because there's batteries and radios and flash, a whole bunch of things that draw power even when it's not running. So the thing that kind of keeps the batteries charged, keeps all those things charged up. We had problems with it the last couple of years. We've been kind of limping it along, but it died on us. It's not doing its job anymore.
Is that like a power inverter?
It's kind of like that. It's a battery trickle charger that sits in there and kind of regulates into it has 4 batteries on there, so it regulates that as well as make sure that the right amount of power gets into the cab for all those things. But anyways, it's been inconsistent, but working enough to keep us working. Now it's not working at all. So that's a $1,300 part and another $700 in labor to put that in. Firemedic's gonna do that either tomorrow or Thursday. It's just something we can't get around. It's not something that we can delay. But we will be able to support that with our money this year. And then everything on that DC grant has been loaded on grass truck 232, and that's ready to go. Burn ban ends this coming Thursday, officially, or at least I think it is. There's been talk that it might get extended. I know it seems really wet and we've had a lot of rain, but that doesn't really affect the stuff that died last year and is still standing there, even though the ground itself is wet. The brush is very dry, and when we get the warmer weather coming up here in the winds, that will certainly become a potential issue. And we're supposed to get our biannual hose testing done in 2 weeks. And I think that's about all I have.
I'm gonna be attending the NICOM Conference of Mayors, leaving tomorrow morning, and one of the things on the top of my list is talking to other mayors and other communities. There's a lot of fire department representation there that are in leadership throughout the state, and SCBA reimbursement and talking to them and open roundtable discussion is my first priority.
Sure.
So is there anything else that you can think of that would be beneficial for me to bring up to our roundtable discussion with the other leaders?
I mean, anything that the state leadership can do to, motivate the federal level and FEMA to reopen those grant funding opportunities that have, become an expectation and now just disappeared over the last couple of years, and that's hurting a lot of people.
Yeah, the new president of NICOM incoming, and the transition from last year's president, that's the #1 priority, is to try to get emergency service funding from a federal and state level down to our level.
Yeah.
It seems to be being passed over way too often.
So hopefully we'll see what happens with the New York State grant application. And New York State increased the amount of money that they provided this year because of the absence of federal funding. So hopefully we'll hear at the end of the month here where if we got anything out of that grant request.
How's the frame repair going on the tanker?
Oh, for 235?
235.
No, that's good. It's back. It came in just around $18,000.
Yeah.
Looks good. It's back in service. No issues with it. It's all they put this substance on the bottom, oil film, which should help preserve it, and we're gonna continue to do that every year on most of the fleet in there to protect it from the salt.
Is that an oil base or is it a wax base?
It's oil based.
Okay. Do you know what does that cost per vehicle, or is there like a?
It depends on the size of the vehicle. The smaller the vehicle, the
Is it
less.
something we can do, or do we have to take it?
No, we have to take. I mean, we could, but there's an issue with the overspray and where that goes on the ground, and so it's best to be done at a facility that then can capture that, so we don't create an environmental hazmat issue. So it's about $1,000 per vehicle, somewhere a little less, somewhere a little more.
Is that, and that's done annually?
And it should be. I mean, that's what they recommend. So.
I have a connection with a company called Corrosion Plus in Henrietta. They do use a product that's called Waxall. It's a wax base that I have on my vehicle. And I have it applied one time, and it's a 10-year warranty on it. So maybe you and I can get together and compare some numbers, and I'll get him in touch with you.
I'll put Rick in touch with you. He's
okay.
the maintenance
expert.
Because
I saw him doing Greece Fire Department, undercarriage, and some other emergency vehicles, ambulances and the like.
Yeah, this is at Hawk Frame where we had the frame repaired, and they actually have kind of a fleet discount if you bring your fleet in there. They do a lot of fire departments in there also. That's kind of what we were talking to them about. They recommended to us now that we have the frame repaired to do some type of spray film on there.
I'll reach out to Rick directly then. Great. Any other questions for Chief Gary?
Is it safe to use the elevator here?
we get a false report. We were ready to come and break open the elevator. We got the tools for it, but luckily we didn't have to.
Fair.
Is someone stuck in it?
So apparently, like, according to the report, there was someone, a stuck person in the
Right,
elevator.
we get a call of a stuck person in the elevator. We got a similar call with I think that's the third one this year that we've gotten, stuck elevator call that, all of them have kind of panned out. We didn't have to do much damage, so. This one I think was a completely false report. There was nothing.
Yeah, a little kid, it was Thursday night when the food pantry was open and the little kid leaned up against it and then they left. And I was here and then two people from the fire department came over and they just pushed the button and called the person and said it's okay, there's nobody there.
Oh.
It wasn't malfunctioning.
Thank you very much. Great job. I'll get back to you about the discussion we had about open meeting issues. I'm just getting some clarification from Matt, and we'll move forward.
Yeah, I spoke to our web designer, people that manage the website this week, so it won't be an issue. of
Yeah,
posting
again,
that
it's
stuff
really just, it's not a big lift, it's just some mechanicals of
Right.
getting it done, but we'll get some more clarification today, and I'll follow up with you on that.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I see that you're gonna be participating in the Childs at the car show for the
Yeah.
4th of July.
Yeah.
Will you guys also be in the parade? That's gonna be starting at 10 o'clock before the,
So we'll have to see, I mean, my focus is making sure that I have the people to support the fireworks demonstration, so we don't burn the town down. If there's excess capacity and people wanna participate in the parade, we'll see. I know the Childs will be in the parade, but I gotta focus on making sure I get the right crews there for the fireworks display, and then if people wanna do the parade, I'll certainly, encourage them to do so, but I wanna make sure I get.
is it
crews
possible to
for
reach
that.
out to East Avon, see if they have a crew they can put a vehicle into, since we partner with them so often?
Sure, we can certainly invite them.
If you wouldn't mind, and then you can reach out to me and get the chief to reach out to me, and I can coordinate with Dan Proctor, because Dan Proctor's running the parade.
Sure.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it, chief.
Thank you.
Don't have any representation from the ambulance today. I'm just gonna recommend that you read through the reports. We do have a few applications that have been vetted. We have a William Fowler, and we have a Frederick Kirkwood, any relation?
Yep, it does.
And a Catherine Mest. I don't see. She worked for Monroe Ambulance, and then Elizabeth Grace Charlin with Monroe Ambulance. Get a motion to accept all four?
Motion to accept all four.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Just leave them in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Any comments on the ambulance report? I know everyone's having a chance just to review it for the first time, but if you have a chance to review it, and then if you have any questions, just to address questions to Dan Marsalis, our village liaison. Any other input or comments? Moving along to Dave Kirkwood, wastewater treatment plant.
Yeah, I don't have too much. Flows are finally coming down, with the weather drying out a little bit. For the month of March, we did have to fill out a violation of our permit for the influent flow being high. For April, I believe we're gonna have to fill out another one. I talked to the DEC, it's not a huge deal, we just have to make sure to get them in there, as long as everything correlates with the storm dates, they just don't wanna see a violation on influent when we're in dry weather, because then something else is going on. So everything should be good with that. We got our UV system in and installed. That seems to be running good. It isn't tripping any faults or having any problems. The first set of samples have been sent in on the 5th, so we'll see how it's running, if it needs anything adjusted on it. So far, we're about 50% of the way through our spring maintenance schedule. hopefully by the end of this month, we should have our regularly scheduled maintenance in the spring all taken care of. That's kind of it for that. The big thing we're working on right now is with the large amount of water the last couple months that's been coming in, we have had a problem with the water backing up in the system a little bit. It seems to be the pipe that comes down Ziegler is partially plugged. It's just got a lot of sediment and like crustacean stuff on the inside of it. We tried taking our sewer cleaner down, we blasted it a few times. Didn't have a whole lot of success. Talked to Ben about it. We did get a quote from Sewer Specialty Services, which are the ones that came down and cameraed a good chunk of our system 2 years ago for the infiltration study. They did send out a quote. We did sign it and send it back as an emergency kind of, we need to get it done. It should be sometime in the next couple weeks. They'll come out with a truck. It's a day rate, so if they can get that done in a couple hours, I'm just gonna have them keep working up through the park and getting everything cleaned and squared away.
Is it like a calcification that's like inside there, or, I mean?
Yeah, it's everything. It's the grease, it's the whole buildup. This is where everything from the village comes into.
Yeah.
So it's just a buildup with it.
It's
It
that
hasn't
12
been
maybe
done.
12 inch trunk line.
Yeah, and it hasn't been done in forever. We can run our little sewer cleaner up there.
That's,
It'll touch some of it, but not
You're
the
just
stuff
poking a
that's
hole
been
through it.
going on for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
what's the difference with this technique? Do they have, I mean, I know,
Probably a bigger head.
Okay.
So a bigger equipment.
so you're talking like 6,000 PSI with a bigger head versus our 3,000, 3,500?
Then I think they've got actual like root saws kind of
Yeah.
that they can send up there. Plus they're gonna camera it, so they'll be able to see if there's some actual damage rather than just build up in there. I can only see, a foot down the pipe, and you can feel some good sediment building up, but they'll be able to camera the whole thing, assuming they can get it cleaned out enough to get the camera through it, and then we'll be able to determine if it's a bigger problem than just.
We'll send Ben down there to say a couple of prayers before we put the camera down there, so make sure there's just no collapse.
Absolutely. On the plus
Ben
side.
deep, just so you know, it was Ben deep.
Not that it would be cheap, but where we are having the problem, the sewer is not that deep, there's nothing in the way, so if it does turn out to be just a small section that does have a problem, I don't think it would be a huge
It
deal.
would be too labor intensive then,
No,
not that you want to, but
no,
we could if.
but there's options. We have had luck this past year, we got the electrical usage down about 38% over the year. Natural gas is down about 26%.
What do you attest the usage drop for electrical and gas?
Better management.
Just turning lights off and.
Turn the lights off. There's a lot of pumps that were running more than they needed to be. There's buildings that were being heated in excess that just, as long as you keep them above freezing, like the pump house up there, you keep it, 40 something. You just gotta keep them from freezing where they were kept at 78 degrees before. So between heat, running pumps better, and just some slightly different tactics in pumping sludge where the actual decomposition of the stuff keeps itself warm a little bit rather than trying to heat it all with natural gas and electricity.
And all this time we've been wasting.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I don't know, just different management styles. It used to be electricity was pretty cheap, so it didn't really matter too much. And now as things get more and more expensive, we're really trying to find ways to get more and more efficient.
And also Dave does a very good job of operating the plant. So he's down there, if it's raining more, that's when the recirculation pumps go on. When it's not, they get turned off. They don't just get left on as they're going through, kind of thing. So he does a better job of managing the way that the stuff is getting treated down there. So if you stay on it and run it properly like he's doing, it makes a difference.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to show anybody kind of the different routes that water has to go depending on the way weather changes. It's a lot of finagling every day just to get it go
thank
the
you,
right way.
thank you, that's outstanding.
That's what you're paying me for.
Makes it, well, yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
The lab testing, like over this past year, we pared it down a little bit to just what we need. There was some extra stuff getting done that just was not helping us at all. I know we are with the lab that's slightly more expensive now, and I think we're going to be staying there because I don't think there's any other options. That is an pretty much the most important part of what I do with the sewer plant is making sure these labs are where they're supposed to be. So it is important to go to a place that does a good job. I kind of included a little list of just some of the highlights of this past year, what we got done. I'm not gonna go through them all, you can look at them. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Stuff coming up is just, again, finding some of the equipment that hasn't had the attention it needs and trying to go through it with a full overhaul to make sure it's in good shape. Aaron is going to be attending class in July, so the process of getting his sewer license. He's been a great help down there. He's learning. We're getting in good shape. Really, that's about all I got.
And then to piggyback off of that, with Aaron going to school, okay, this is a week-long course,
Yes.
2 different times. So we're in the process of getting the hotel rooms and stuff for him, because obviously he's not gonna be driving back and forth. So we'll get that, that'll go on the credit card with that, we'll figure out which ways he's gonna be going to get up and down from there. But
It's
that's,
down in Dansville or?
no, Buffalo, I believe it's
Yeah,
at,
Buffalo.
yeah, it's at college up in Buffalo.
Okay.
So, he's gonna drive up the one day, obviously stay the 4 nights, and then come back, and then a couple weeks later, he's gotta go and do it again. So there's a little expense to it, but it's great to have him down there where he's eager, he wants to learn, he does it, he does a good job with David, where they split up and they take and change oils and pumps, and they move the sludge, they shovel the beds, they work very well together, so it's well worth the investment, and it's nice to have some other operators down there that hopefully get another training.
Man, it's so good to hear the teamwork that you guys are putting together. Ben, you just really nailed it with getting the right guys under your umbrella. And Dave, thanks for stepping up and just really owning it. Really stepping up and owning it.
Great.
This is no small list of.
No, it's nothing like we've seen before. I mean, the last 5 years have been interesting to say the least.
That's why the list is so big now.
Yeah.
So they're getting corrected, so.
Well, I like the idea of having my own little ecosystem down there that I can get in good shape, but it also reflects the work I've done. So if it isn't getting in good shape, that reflects directly on me that it was a bad job. So I really want it to come out nice.
People don't realize this is a living, breathing being that you're dealing with, and you.
Yeah, every aspect of this, whether it's the sludge that goes into digesters, it's all just microbial and bacteria that's doing the work for me. The water that doesn't go in with sludge goes to the trickling filters where it's been treated by microorganisms. It's all just a big living facility.
And then going past the bulbs to neutralize any kind of extra
Yep, I get
bacteria.
rid of the bad bacteria on the way out.
So the least amount of exposure to the ecosystem when it goes back into the creek.
Yep.
Wow, fantastic,
Great.
good stuff, really good stuff.
Thank you for,
Proud to have you on board.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too for working hard on getting electricity down, the gas down as well. I mean, I'm sure our bill's probably about the same as what it has been.
I think I managed to get down a little bit under. I know prices have been higher. The stuff I've learned in the last half of the year, I could have gotten the beginning half a little bit lower, so hopefully we got the easy stuff down, but we might be able to get the bill down a little bit more, but we're
Thank you.
probably about
It's
where we're
noticed, so,
at.
thanks.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Dave Kirkwood? Thank you again, Dave, appreciate you being
Thank you,
here.
Dave.
No problem.
Charlie?
Those permits have 5 still open from 2026 and 6 still open in 2025. As people get projects done, they close and then go down on your certificates of occupancy completed. I have 3 this month. There's 11 building permits issued in 2026 with the village. Does anybody, I got a complaint from a resident down here on Main Street, 7385 East Main Street, about the house that's got the black spaceship on the front lawn, and now he's got a white rocket in the side yard. Is that something that I should be addressing and telling him to get rid of? Because the neighbor's complaining about it, and anybody see an issue with that, or what? I don't have anything code book about having a spaceship on your front lawn or a rocket in the side yard.
I don't think there's anything we can enforce. If somebody wants to have decorations,
Yeah.
call it, in their yard, I mean, Whether we approve of it or not, you know,
Well, no,
what
I-
you wanna do,
Well,
I'm thinking.
I hear that other, like, somebody complains about Corey Hopkins' truck in their backyard, you know, and then they tell John, and John tells, I mean, you know, people are complaining about it, but there's nothing in the code book about that. You know, okay, that's trespassing, but,
Well, that's, I mean, Corey's was like that because he was half on her property.
oh, I know,
The
why?
back of her truck.
I-
The spaceship and the rocket, I guess, if
Well,
it's
the
in his
neighbor doesn't
yard.
like it, but, I mean, I have a problem with the guy because he's got 4 cloth sheds in the backyard, a metal one, and, oh yeah, I'm gonna clean it up, and doesn't.
Is there anything in the code that says we need to abide by a standard appeal, you know, a curb appeal or something like that? I mean,
No, you're not, yeah, he's not supposed
it's
to.
not like we have homeowners association.
Yeah, I've written letters to him to clean it up, he can't have all that stuff outside, code says you can't, but he doesn't do anything about it, he doesn't, you know, which, I'll continue letters and then send it to Matt, and then say we can cease and desist the, go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, it's the first I'm hearing about it, yeah, I mean, if it's against the code, send them letters.
Yeah, no, but I
Enforce
just
it.
wondered if it, okay. Those things I'm taking care of, it's a spaceship and the decoration on the front lawn that a neighbor called and complained about, and she really insists on me getting rid of it.
I would agree with that, and I think it's probably a decoration that we
Yeah,
leave alone.
Okay, thank you.
It's not what we ultimately would like to see, but it is,
Choice.
yeah.
All right, if nobody complains about it, that's fine, I guess. There's an issue about water running on the 1911 Buell Avenue from Tim Borshoff's property from 7346 East Main Street. He apparently had a gravel driveway for years and blacktopped it, and they say that it's a village issue, that we should take care of it. I'm like, no, that's a civil, you have to take care of it, but they kept emailing me, and finally I found out that when this Tim Borshoff had got a permit in the 80s to build this house, he was told not to build it because there was a water problem. So now I informed the homeowner of that, and they're gonna finally contact Tim Borshoff about the water runoff problem. I mean, they wanted me to contact Ben and have him dig a swale, and I'm like, no, that's between you guys, that's not. But anyway, in case somebody had emailed you, John, and said, why isn't the village doing anything about this?
Not yet, but I'll know now.
And then, yes, the other complaint was Corey Hopkins, which you just told me he got his truck finally out of there. He calls me, you know, every time I get a hold of him, he just lies to me on the phone about what he's gonna
Charlie,
do.
let's not talk about personal conversations to have with them.
Okay,
Let's try to keep names out of this, okay?
okay, well, that's number 3. Okay, planning board reviewing, but that's at, GCC building up here, and, the Teach to Learn building. And I've got about, 12 fire marshal inspections that I've finished this year so far. I've got many more to do.
Can we go back to the Teach to Learn building just for a moment? Did they apply for a permit for occupancy or to?
The who?
The Teach to Learn?
Oh, Teach to
the
Learn.
GCC building? It's in
Yeah,
the
they're
town.
going to the planning board to get, they're gonna get planning board, they're building a 60 by 80, you know,
Yeah, I'm familiar
About
with it.
them?
I'll talk with John Cates on that, with Supervisor Cates.
okay, well, what Teach to Learn, you know what Teach to Learn is?
Yes.
Okay,
Homeschool.
yeah, okay. So they're building a 60 by 80 sports building behind it.
Paddle pickleball.
No, pickleball's a building next door.
Okay.
Pickleball is a completely different, pickleball is, they're buying land from Tony Condrick, and I put a sign out there, there's 2 signs out there for the planning, announcing the planning board meeting. One
That's
at
at the town,
GCC and one, what's that?
That's in the town, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. And, there were 6 phone calls I got after work hours about different problems and situations. That's it. Any other questions?
I'm good. Anybody else have any questions at this time?
As far as in the village itself, it's been brought to my attention, and even some people living there, is it the Livingston Apartments behind Francis Eaton Tree? Is that the, or what's the Crossroads Apartments?
Yeah, I know you meant, yeah, what about it?
Well, it just seems like the upkeep around there is, I mean, even with the rains, I've been able to mow 3+ times right now, and I don't think they've mowed it all yet, and
No, they
I'm
haven't.
hearing a lot of issues there at that facility, and I just wondered the last time maybe if you've been in there and inspected.
Well, they have us 2 signs out front for help wanted. Last year, they had interviewed a whole bunch of different people to mow lawns, they just don't wanna pay what lawn mowing companies charge to mow the lawns. And now this year, instead of getting, yes, I have been in contact with them, because I figured one of your tractors could bale some hay off of their front yard, and the side yards too.
I just didn't
And
know
they're
if you
just
have
like-
anything within your legal rights to go up there.
Well, yeah, they can't have a lawn over, they can't have grass over 10 inches, that's why I went there, that's why I called her. And, their excuse or reason is that they can't get anybody to mow the lawn. They can't hire a maintenance person, they have 1 sign for a maintenance person, and then they had contracts out for lawn mowing. About 3 years ago, they had the same problem, and then finally hired somebody, well, they got bought out by somebody else. And now the new people don't wanna pay for what it costs for a lawn mowing service.
So we send them a letter and start the finding process?
Yeah, yeah.
Frankly, if I
I'd go and
can't
talk to
find
them and find out
somebody-
what's that?
If I can't find somebody to mow my lawn, then I mow my own lawn. It's a weird concept. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they are apartment complex, and the woman that manages it doesn't have a lawnmower. I mean, she's gonna, you know, they should be hiring somebody, they're just being too cheap. The management company doesn't wanna pay whatever it costs to mow the lawn, so they,
Just too bad it's an eyesore coming in from the north.
I agree.
Didn't we just pass where the village could mow it and then bill them for it?
Yeah, the
That's
village
what you've done.
As far as
Yeah.
for an
Village could
eyesore
mow it.
kind of thing.
They look at that. Village can mow it and charge them to pass along the cost to them.
I get a 0 turn 10 on mow it.
I would give them, I don't know how long you've been doing this for, give them a final letter and say you have to have a mower, we're gonna do it, pass along the cost.
3 times the amount,
It'll be,
5 times the
it will
amount.
not be a market rate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do that in the next letter.
You might have mentioned this, Charlie, and maybe I missed it, that zombie house on College Street where the machines are?
The both of them, they got them,
Well, they moved the
they
machines,
moved
they're
the
gone.
machines,
Oh, they did?
and he
Okay.
says he's still working, gonna get there.
Well, I thought you said that
Finishing
the
up whatever
neighbor,
house.
the
That's not the neighbor
last
behind.
meeting, you said that my neighbor behind was interested in buying the house.
Right. I have nothing that says
Maybe
we
it
bought
hasn't
it.
gone through yet, maybe the sale hasn't.
Yeah, it'll
gone
take
through.
3 months before it closes.
Can you, send me the address of the person that was interested in buying? I'll pay them a visit and see if, what the status is. If he's pursuing
I
the
can-
purchase. You know which person that is?
Yeah, I do. I can look at the map and tell you.
Okay.
He's on,
Just shoot me a message,
okay,
I appreciate it.
he's on,
High Street,
High Street, yeah.
no, where's the other one? What's the other one back there?
High Street's what bumps up to
No,
College.
what's the other one?
Eastwood, High Street,
Harrison.
Terrace,
That's Harris.
Harrison area?
Harrison, he's on Harrison.
Okay.
His house on Harrison backs up to that.
Yeah, if you got a name and an address, that would
All
work.
right, I'll send it to you.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. DPW?
Yep. All right, just a few things here until we get to, the new business. First cleanup days are done, it went well, we got through it, we had a whole bunch of people come through for that. Didn't have any issues with the electronics or other, the stuff that was brought in. Pesh came up to the shop, did a surprise inspection.
Who?
Pesh, it's like OSHA, but
Oh.
Pesh is for us. So they come in there, they haven't been there since, I think, 2015 was the last time they were there, so they don't come very often, so when they come, they kinda go through everything. We had just about everything they needed done, there was only a couple things that they, addressed with us, which we've already corrected, got the paperwork in, has been sent in, and it's all taken care of, and we're back all up to date with them, which you should've got a thing, if not, it's coming from Pesh, from,
Haven't got it
stuff.
yet.
But we're all set with them, so hopefully we're good for another, it'd be nice if it's another 10 years, but it's all set. We had some issues at the park throughout the course of the past month, hasn't been too bad. One time the kids went in there and they stuffed the toilets full of mulch. Mulch, they took it from the playground and stuffed the toilets there. Thankfully, as we dug it all out, it was only mulch, but sometimes it's, you're not always sure what's in there.
Combination of mulch.
Yeah, and as you remember, back in the fall, when we were going through this, we had another incident through there, coming through, and the cameras, I told you we're shutting it down anyway, so we just let it be. The monitor isn't working anymore, so we said to come this spring, we're gonna have to look into getting a new monitor for it. I talked to Westfire, we'll just put it that way, my brother also works
I
for
have a
Westfire.
monitor for you.
We got some stuff, I know, we got some stuff coming through, so I believe it's gonna be talked about coming through, but it's something that we probably should address, whether we wait till the fall or we do it earlier, so be it. But I think we need something situated, just so that maybe we can, deter this a little bit more, because it's coming, or there's always gonna be it happens every year. The cameras are nice, they've worked out a couple times where we've actually caught the people, but that's what happens when you have an open park like this, you know what I mean?
This Thursday night, we have a representative from West Fire coming to talk to us about updates and what we can do at the park to monitor things better. We have a meeting Thursday night here at 7 o'clock, or 6:30.
And that's for the park commission?
That is
It's on our
correct.
list of things to talk about.
He is on the agenda.
Yeah.
And what, can you repeat that for people that are listening online, please?
So, the park commission reached out to West Fire to at least start. We have a representative this coming Thursday night at 6:30 to the park commission meeting here at Town Hall to talk about upgrades and, better coverage around the buildings.
Awesome, thank you, Steve.
So, yep.
If they're planning to do a system that they'll have remote access to?
No, cause you don't have any Wi-Fi or anything down
Yeah,
there.
but you can bridge off the sewer plant.
We'll keep that in mind.
$200 bridge and you've got a connection.
Yep, something to look at, I guess, as we're coming through for the options that we'll have. Yep.
But it is active discussion
Good.
on Thursday, so you are on our list of people to contact regarding other options, so.
Perfect.
Thank you, Dan.
Also, currently we're getting downtown cleaned up, we're going through that process there with the mulch is all in.
That is good.
Next week, we'll finish the mulch and the cleanup of downtown, hopefully this week, if not early next. Then we got flowers coming, flags, banners, all that stuff should be up by the end of next week, so we're on track to have everything ready for Memorial Day. Also, we're still looking to get some summer help. I'm gonna be doing some interviews this week into Saturday. Since we don't have a board meeting into June, and I'd like to get this guy or people out of what we've got situated, I'd like permission that once I discuss it with John, if I give you a recommendation, this is only, of course, a temporary hiring, so I don't think we have to go through we have everybody in for what we're doing. It's
Right.
a 3 to 4 month position, that I'll just let you know, hey, went through it, this is the guy we want, and we can just get him hired on
Sure.
and go from there, so. As long as the board approves that John and I can get
I'll
the
make a
hire.
motion that the board approve that, a temporary summer hire from, through Supervisor Ben Luft and with consultation with Mayor John Skatunis be accepted to the board without further discussion.
And second,
Second.
all in favor?
Okay, and if something doesn't happen, I mean, we're not gonna pick someone just to pick someone, but
Yeah.
we do need to have someone in there, because right now with just the 4 of us coming through, people start taking vacation time over the summer,
Yeah.
and that puts down to 3 of us, and that's including me, and sometimes it's hard for me to always be breaking away like I do, so.
When's Aaron going for that class?
He'll be gone in July and August, I believe.
So hopefully we'll have that person by then.
I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks, but like I said, so this is something we're trying to plan ahead to get through the summer.
Heard.
So other than that, I think that's all I got until we get to new business. If anybody has anything else, have questions for me?
We'll be able to, on the 4th of July, lock up the bathrooms, so they
Yep.
will not be in public use. I've got 5 porta potties coming this year.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know.
Do we, are we able to keep the porta potties locked before? Cause last year,
You know, there's nothing we can,
I know last year we had the people go in there and vandalize them, so.
I had to go clean it out, but it got cleaned out, yep, and we took care of that.
Is there some way, if they're done, because they're gonna be delivered on Friday before, maybe we can zip tie them shut?
I guess we can look into it when they get there. I've never paid attention too closely to what it would take to.
I think there's the ability to put a lock where it's at least a zip tie, that's a deterrent to do something like that.
We can definitely look at it.
Okay, I'll take care of that. Any other questions for Ben? Thank you. Melissa?
Alright, just a few things. I passed out the expenditures and revenues through the end of April for you guys to review when you can. I've reached out to Dish I sent a couple of emails. I haven't heard anything back, but requesting an update as to when they will be removing their equipment from the water tower, because they're no longer paying for having those up there, so I'd like them removed. I'll just keep sending emails and see if I hear anything back from them.
Is there any chance that they would renew?
No, they dissolved.
Yeah.
Alyssa, we had talked about whether the contract has any kind of clause in it for non-performance, and whether we can bill them, back-bill them for these period of time that they're on the tower, maybe to get them moving and getting it off. So
That's above my pay grade. I passed
Yeah.
along the contract with that said, everything in there, so.
Yeah, I don't
that's
think it
something-
does. I mean, I think what we can do is threaten kind of the, same thing that we just did with you and say, look, you take it off or we're gonna take it off.
Five times the
charge you,
charge.
which is, whether we can or not, we can discuss, but,
Right.
I think we can always threaten it, or skip it over, I'll do a letter.
That's fine. I'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to reach out to at least to get some sort of an update as to when are you gonna take the equipment off of there. But again, I haven't heard anything back. Did they ever come out and fix the generator? Okay, perfect. There was an issue with the generator for a different tower up there, but
2 o'clock in the morning.
they came in for the AT&T one, but they came and fixed it. That's what I just asked Ben about. So we've got that. The town did give the village the extra $24,000 to go towards the fire department. That's not reflected in these financials, because I got it after the end of last month, so it will show as a budgetary adjustment for the closeout for the end of May, when you receive those. But with that being said, I do have a addendum to the contract that I just need John to sign for the $24,000. Fiber project, we did finally receive the final payout for the fiber project.
All right.
So when everything is all said and done, I know that it was originally quoted was gonna be closer to like $30,000 over budget. With everything that's come through, I asked Empire if everything has been sent in to be paid. They said there's no outstanding payments. We're actually just under $5,000 over for the project. I think that's pretty good for what we needed to be. So, and we obviously, we have that in fund balance to just pay it off, call it, good. So we're gonna
Reach
pay.
out to the county or anything like we talked about?
Correct,
Okay, done.
so that worked out really well. We do have a wire that'll be going out at the end of the month. Brian, you're not going to be available, so John will, I have to go and set that up, and then they'll just contact you for that. We'll also have another wire that'll be going out this month that is for the debt service for the water. So that's just annual debt service payment, so I'll fill those out at the bank, and then
What was the first wire for again?
the closeout for the fiber project,
Okay,
that's gonna be on the 22nd of May.
Got it, I'll make a
And
note.
then I'm gonna go tomorrow, probably to the bank, so that way we can I'll do the wire transfer for the debt service for the water, and that's just the annual debt service on that.
Is there a date on that?
It's due the 15th, but that one I'm gonna go
Just shoot me a message, let me know when so I should expect a call from the bank on the.
One of you will expect a call, because both of you are on there for tomorrow. I don't know who they're gonna call, just the second verification. Yeah, on that, but just so you guys are aware, the bank will be calling you,
Okay.
and then at the end of the month, John, it'll be you that they're gonna call,
Got it.
just cause Brian's gonna be
Yeah.
available. As a reminder, tax collection, we're at the end of the fiscal year, at the end of the month, and tax collection's gonna start June 1st. All of the tax bills, if you're escrow, they'll get sent directly to the financial institution. Anyone else, if you're not, we will go directly to the homeowner. If homeowners do not receive the bill, it's very important that you call and let me know so we can send a double bill out to you. I don't know if you don't receive a bill, because I do not send any of the bills from here. We outsource the first set of bills, just because it's a significant amount to be sent. And I believe it's ABS that does that for us, and they will mail the first set, the county sends it right to them, so. That begins, speaking of with the tax collection, there was about $50,000 worth of re-levies this year between water and sewer, that were added onto the bills, so those have been canceled out of the system and put on the taxes with the, re-levy penalty. And then, before the vouchers, the only other thing I have is I met with Jackie Schaefer, so Jackie is a representative from Eastern Shore, for our insurance renewal. That's what I passed out to everyone. There's a summary sheet for you to kind of review. Overall, the insurance policies increased, the premium went up a total of 8%. We budgeted for 10%, so we're within that threshold that we thought we would be. The breakdown just gives you a list of the overall why things increased and decreased. I did ask if there were any additional addendums that needed to be reviewed this year, and she didn't have any for us because we've made so many changes over the past few years. She felt that we were in a good position. And then the second is just a breakdown by fund as to what's where for the insurances.
Well, does that include the new fire vehicle apparatus? Okay.
Yep. It includes, everything is up to date, so it includes the new fire apparatus, includes the new building that was purchased, includes the parcel over here, so.
And it does include the replacement value of the new apparatus, not the sale price?
Yes,
Yep.
we went through that with them.
Yeah, if you look at so on here, it says like the inland marine increase because of the values, it went up from 3,600,000 to 4,400,000, so all the values are reflected in there.
We went through even the shop, everything we had up at our shop, the backhoe, the dump trucks, everything to get up there, so. We mentioned stuff at sewer plant, everything, she did everything down through here, so they asked us a lot of questions.
And both the fire chief and, the ambulance chief, they reviewed their equipment to make sure everything was correct and increased their values to what they felt for the replacement cost.
Awesome,
So-
thank you.
So it's all up to date, and then the last thing's just the bills.
We get a motion to pay the bill, $68,574.92.
Motion to pay the bills?
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I have a question for Alyssa.
Sure.
You know, seeing the trucks around here, somebody told me they're Frontier Fiber trucks. Does that involve us at all financially?
No.
They're running their fiber, that's what they're running new fiber all the way through.
Yeah, my neighborhood's flagged because they're coming to do it in my neighborhood. Fine.
Very good. Any questions for Alyssa? Okay, moving along to board reports. I'm gonna yield my responses to complement the other trustees. So Brian Smith, I'm gonna ask for your report.
So we'll start out, we are a Be Well community. This is, we have two of these signs that we should be asking our landlord, the town of Lima, to post on our building. There's one of those. We are also a climate smart community. We have two of these that also could be placed either in the village office or on the town building. So, I'll defer these to Ben and his screwdriver, if we can find an appropriate place for these.
Here, at this building, or someplace?
Sure.
Well, I didn't know, whereabouts would you like those put, in particular?
That's a lower question. I think in a public place. That's something we can discuss. Again, I think as the town owns the building, we should have a frank discussion with them, which I'll take care of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben, you can tell me where to put them,
Right.
I got my screw gun, I can put them on, I do work around here all the time.
Yeah, we just gotta find out where you'd like them, you know, cause obviously we don't own the village, a lot of property to just go and put signs on, you know,
Yes,
kind of
that's it,
thing.
yep. So I'll follow up with the town and the supervisor, see if we can find an appropriate public place to put these. So, for the park commission, we are meeting tomorrow, Thursday at 6:30 here in the town hall. We are working to become compliant with our open meeting laws. We will be having elections on Thursday. One of the issues, again, we've already discussed, is security systems at the park. That will be discussed, primarily starting with West, but also for additional wireless opportunities for security at the park. We lose thousands plus dollars a year in vandalism at the park, and it is sort of a symptom of the fact that it is a open area and people will be people, but we do need to upgrade some kind of security system there, and perhaps a Wi-Fi for events and festivals. So that's some of the things to be on the discussion. Lima Golden Agers, I attended today. I will provide Alyssa with the minutes from last month, as well as my discussion of events that happened as I represent the village at that meeting. I will not be there next month, so if either Ben or Dan can represent the village, that would be wonderful.
What's the date of that meeting?
It is it's always the day, the second Tuesday at noon.
It'll be at the ambulance.
Correct, it'll be at the ambulance bay.
Are they bringing food in?
Yes, from Tyson's.
Nice.
Chicken salad, if I remember correctly. Be Well, again, we meet the first Wednesday. The volunteer fair was moderately successful. I have a list of people who signed up for to be part of the micro-volunteering. I have a plan to reach out to Dan and several community members to discuss the idea of a Lima volunteer corps. There's a number of people who are on a parallel path thinking about this, so I'm gonna make a proposal that underneath the umbrella of Be Well, that all of these ideas coalesce into a single group, so that, like I said, Dan has had an idea a few months ago. Dan Proctor has had the concept, and also we've had some from the Pumpkin Festival. I'm like blanking on his name. Steve. No, not Steve. Neil Smith. Again, also all on the same parallel. So we'll see if we can work on that. But it was a really good opportunity for cross-pollination and work there. So the next thing for Be Well is the Murph Challenge. It is the first year for that. It will be at the Mark Tubbs Park. It is the only Murph Challenge in the Finger Lakes region. So I'm working with Tori Andrzejczyk and Adam Lewis to promote that through the Livingston County Genesee Valley Health Partnership. So hopefully we'll get the first year off on that. It's if anyone wants to do it, it's a mile run, 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and then final mile run, all while wearing a 20-pound vest. We are going to have a team event and a mini Murph for local, but this is an opportunity for another Be Well challenge to occur here that will bring people in from not only our community but other communities as well. So
is there a chance to sponsor people?
there is a chance to sponsor the event.
I'd like to sponsor Ben Luft and Dave Kirkwood.
Neither one of us can do a pull-up.
There's only
Push-ups, maybe,
push-ups.
pull-ups, no.
I think that's an extremely generous statement, Steve, but we do pay the health insurance on those two gentlemen. So I will defer to their best judgment.
Is that a specific
Yeah.
Yes, it's the Saturday of Memorial Day, which is the 23rd, so it is coming up pretty quickly. Additionally, actually, everything else I have is, actually further down is a code, or is in the minutes for the agenda, so I will defer now to the next person.
I do want to comment.
I just have, Brian, what about the 16th get canceled?
Oh, no, you're right. The 16th, we are having the Parks Commission is sponsoring a cleanup.
And did you get with Alyssa to put that on the agenda through the village? We did at the town end.
No, I did not. I apologize. Alyssa,
Oh, I should talk about.
yeah, on the 16th.
Park cleanup this coming Saturday at 9 a.m.
Right. Ben will utilize the advice from last year and put any kind of cleanup items where they can be collected in the parking lot.
So this is of course the first time hearing of this, so depending on what you're cleaning up, depends on what kind of piles we have and where we got to put them. Because if they're put too close to the pylons, we can't grab them with a backhoe. And of
Steve,
course, they have to be separated, you know what I mean? There's brush, and then there'd be dirt, let's call it dirt stuff, you know, kind of thing is in the separate piles.
So there is some brush over on the west side. Would you rather have that cut and put in farther, or do you want that removed?
I mean,
From the edge of the, kind of right on the edge of the lawn, just past the walkway, there are some tree limbs and
so
stuff.
the issue with that over there, that is the forever wild area.
Right.
And one of the reasons why we're having such drainage issues over there is the ditch is getting filled with, I think, homeowners putting some of their brush back there.
Well, then let's get it out of there.
That would be the thing to do, so
All
if we
right.
can get it over to the parking lot, we will take care of it.
Very good.
I did have to talk with Charlie about that detritus moving its way into the park. So we'll take a review of that on Saturday as well. The garbage has been picked clean. My neighbor has gone through and picked up all of the trash that's in the park already, but this is to go through and do the minor limbs and things that folks like Steve and I and the Parks Commission can take
Steve,
care of. So-
what time is the cemetery cleanup?
And then we're gonna go up and clean, whether if I get help or not, there could at least be two of us.
Yeah.
We're gonna clean up the cemetery along, we got, as I gave you at the last meeting, we have permission from our owners of the property next door there to go onto that side of the fence. And we'll, put that all out to the edge by the parking lot, so
Which
it's
cemetery?
behind Quickville.
Gotcha.
I think Steve, I do have 2 scouts that are able to help as well on Saturday
Great.
for that.
Okay,
I've
that'll, so 9 o'clock down there, 1 o'clock here.
Hopefully we'll get
And
more.
I've got 2 extra people that are
Great.
gonna help us too, so.
And that's at 1 o'clock for the cemetery?
Yes, sir.
And again, just make sure it's all one way, so the brush.
Yep.
We can grab that.
Steve, I get out at 1,
And
so
the,
it might be 1:15 that I get.
Not a problem. The beds, if you've been down there, have started. There's one big pansy bed and one small one. There's gonna be a new to the big bed this year, and they've been all turned over and worked in with more compost, so the clay is starting to get broke up and gone away somewhat. When I was in Pennsylvania 3 weeks ago, from an Amish craftsman I know, I purchased 3 big stars. They are all cleaned up and painted now. Did them the other day in my garage, and we are gonna have 3 big, about 3 foot, red, white, and blue stars for the 250 celebration.
Awesome.
There in the big bed, and the bed this year will be red, white, and blue.
Great,
Awesome.
that's great.
Beautiful. Nice continuity throughout the village and the park. It's gonna look great. I wanna comment on Brian's message about the Be Well in Lima. We started this program about 2 years ago, Mike Falk and I, and when we started meeting at the library with the county representation, and it's really taken off. And this 5K thing that Tori Druzik has put together is just extended to the point where Barella's now sponsored the $1,000 for the numbers for everybody. We're getting a lot of deep pockets of people showing interest. We had a wonderful donation from the Travers family of $2,500 to the Be Well account. The account's in upwards of $3,500 in the plus right now, that we can start applying some of these. donations towards the expenses for the 4th of July, which is the tents, the porta potties, some banners, some decorations and whatnot. We also got, I believe, almost $1,600 from the county historical, was it?
That's the historian.
The historian. So,
The DAR.
yeah, Karen Walsh, Hanson Walsh Friss applied to do some signage and some commemorative flags. We got like 700 and change for that, and then there was another 800 for the town and another 800 for the village that we didn't even anticipate. Somewhere's around $1,600 that we can apply towards the event. This event is going to be fantastic. It's really taken off. I went down to Hemlock to the car show on Saturday and showed everyone the AmeriCruise flyer that Susan Gator put together. I had like 16 cars enthusiasts that were like, really, we'd love it. They need a place to go, and they're not doing anything on the 4th, so we've got a lot of people that are going to be starting to file in. I've got 6 food trucks. I think I mentioned at the last meeting. All have confirmed they're going to be setting up between 11 and noon, so they'll be there all day. We've got a bus to move from the church back and forth to the park from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock after the fireworks are done. We'll have craft vendors. I've got about 15 craft vendors, and it's growing. I'm not charging any of the vendors, although what I'm asking of them is if they had a banner day, they can give a contribution back on behalf of the park, so we can start building their fund. Same thing with the food vendors. The food vendors, on average, every year have been donating anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15%, depending upon what kind of sales they have. We've got 6 different food trucks this year, so I think it's going to be another banner year.
So we do, Cannons for Cannon will be back this year, as well. That is a Civil War reenactment group that volunteers their time and their gunpowder to help raise funds for accessible equipment, playground equipment at the park as well. So get your boom on and come out to just before the fireworks, which again will be a spectacular that's paid for by the village and town boards. So.
Fortunately, the HFL music had to cancel. They couldn't get enough of the students because it's after graduation to perform at the event. So I was going to ask Brian if you could contact the Civil War reenactors. They may have some entertainment that they'd like to perform, and it might be appropriate to have them in their Civil War gear and playing washboard or the tub thumpers or whatever, some harmonica.
I certainly ask.
I think that would be really cool for the event.
DAR is going to be, the Daughters of the American Revolution will be having 2 skits, actually running twice during the event. They will be asking for volunteers from the audience, adults and children, to participate as well. So it does look like it's going to be a really great semi-quincentennial event, and that's the thanks to so many people who are working hard to make that happen.
Yep, and we have the Sheriff's Department's going to be helping us out with the parade, which will start at 10 o'clock, going from the primary school to the park. Members of the AmeriCruise with their cars will be invited to be part of the parade and then park at the park to show off their cars until 4 o'clock. 3 o'clock will be an awards ceremony. Gosh darn it, there was something else I wanted to say.
Are you stopping traffic for the
Yes,
parade?
yes, thank you.
So you need to make sure that you fill out your permit for
Can I get with
the
you?
parade, and it's all online now. It's
Okay.
not the paper form that you send in. But you have to, if you're stopping traffic, you have to fill out.
I'll make a note to get back
for
with
it.
you when I return from the conference, if you can guide me through that. Is that through Livingston County Sheriff or
No, it's through the DOT.
DOT permit? Got it. We will have the mounted patrol also on premises at the park for crowd control. That's all. Cool. Just wanted to compliment Brian.
Thank you guys.
That's gonna be all
It's
big to
certainly
go
not.
over.
Ben Doswood, do you have anything for us today?
3 things.
Fire away.
First of all, Ed Blodgett Senior, they have moved to Canandaigua. That house is now empty. The Amish backed out of their deal with the farm this side of it. And then secondly, because of my cardiac event, I was privileged to get a ride in the Lima ambulance. And Chief Rose and Sean Fowler, they were absolutely fantastic. And then thirdly, the president of Elam Bible College, he's leaving in August. August 1st will be his last day. He's got a heart operation coming up this month. He's quite anxious about that. The new president of the Bible College, her name is Danuta Case.
Yep, I'll be meeting with Mr. Antonelli in this case to do a little crossover as far as what Mr. Antonelli and I had been talking about. We had discussed giving contributions to the fire department on behalf of the college, and we're going to carry that through with Ms. Case also and get her involved with that. See how we can include the college in more activities.
Yes, good.
Anything else, Ben?
No.
Awesome. Mr. Petraeus?
I'm good.
Very good. And Mr. Marsalis?
I give you a report because I forgot a few things that I was on the list for, so I had to write this down. DPW, Ben, whatever you need, let me know. Those mechanic, just so you know. A lot of work contractors, John Deere, stuff like that. Law and order, I was kind of curious to know what exactly that is referring to and what that liaison position is supposed to be doing. Just a question.
Do we have any specifications on that? For the law and order organizational responsibilities, we really haven't had any need for it.
Would it be like,
The mayor's the chief law enforcement officer of the
so I can
village.
talk to him?
Yeah.
Talk to Honey and we'll talk
So
to
I
him?
guess you're
Sure.
the deputy fight from the village.
I would think maybe perhaps the
Sheriff?
liaison to the sheriff's office.
Sheriff?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, what I'll do is I'll get you in contact, we'll talk over the next couple of days, and I'll give you some contact information with the sheriff's department, people that I'm talking to for crowd control, for traffic control, things like
Sounds
that.
good. Cause you're on all of these anyway, so.
Yeah, that's why I yielded to you guys. 'Cause I just
Golden
wanted to highlight-
Majors, Brian, thank you for being here, cause I was busy, with a new hire. They did send me a birthday card, which was very nice, I appreciated that. Ambulance, I sent out a, copy of a letter, and I was hoping perhaps we could do a support letter for the ambulance, foundation that is for a grant they're trying to get through Livingston Cares, in Geneseo. Take a look at it, you know.
I've already, what Dan's talking about is this,
Okay.
grant opportunity to, help support, there's some funds available to, show support for the ambulance. They wanna do an end of the year, holiday party, and Christmas party, and, I wrote a letter of recommendation 2 weeks ago, gave it to the chief. I think it wouldn't hurt if everyone would sign this, just to show another letter of support on behalf of the entire board. The more the better.
Crossroads, fundraising is on, track. Top sponsors this year so far, Superior Walls, Bears, CPL Engineering, they're at a Fairport. Crossroads Chiropractic in Lakelands, our big, festival is Superior Walls presenting, or the others. There's a QR code list on your report that I gave you guys that'll take you to the full list of sponsors. Downtown revitalization, Mr. Doe, did they have the community, communications meeting thing?
Meeting
That's-
cares.
16th.
Cause I saw it was May 16th, but I thought it was put off till June.
No, it's May 16th.
It is, okay.
Adam is leading it, and my wife will be there as a
Okay.
recorder.
What time is that?
That is 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's going to be at the town hall.
So we're having 9 o'clock cleanup at the park, 10 o'clock community cares. Is that being advertised on Facebook or? 'Cause I
Yes.
haven't-
I've seen it.
I don't know why I missed it.
One of the things to bring up, and I've seen it, certainly over in Mendon, was the whole business directory concept. I did that years ago here, probably 20, maybe 30 years ago. We put one together, something I thought I'd bring up in that meeting.
golden age today. There was a question regarding our downtown revitalization.
Okay.
My recollection, again, this is before I even lived in Lima, was that our downtown was gone through 5 and 20 revamp about 30 plus years ago. And I did mention that we were overdue for that, and something that we're working on, but it is quite frankly state dependent.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
just wanted to
I
let you
worked
know.
on the Main Street grant,
Yep.
not, you know, what, 10, 15 years ago.
And that's the second thing on my list, besides the breathing apparatus for the fire department, is the downtown revitalization.
So I just brought up that we are aware of it, that it's overdue by time-wise. We don't have any magic means to make the state do that, but then we're working on it.
All right.
Hey, Dan, I'm gonna let you sign that so I can let you. Just want everyone to sign the same. Then you can keep a copy of the events of that, or is it May?
Yep.
Sorry.
Let's see, historic preservation, the only thing I really tied to that was the Historical Society, which I am on the board. There is a Mendon Ponds talk, which is very interesting, that's gonna be at the Presbyterian Church on Sunday. There's a QR code and a link in the document that I emailed also that could take you. There's also a dinner, that is being, done by Spinelli's. And it's been, good, very good in the past. News and PR. So what I did is I put a link here to a PR list that Crossroads Council has built over the last few years. It's got over 200 and some odd contacts throughout the Finger Lakes. So anything, especially like the Mirth Challenge, I would hit that list and get it out to everyone. There's news, newspapers, magazines, radio, anything you can think of is pretty much on there. Good resource. Village liaison to the office. I would like to get together and talk to the mayor and the clerk about accounting breakdown for the ambulance perhaps. So there's a little more clarity in the ins and outs in the reporting. And schedule time, we still need to clean out that closet, right?
We do. I've got a couple of personal things going on this month. It's just,
Okay.
this month's not a good one.
Yeah,
let's know.
So,
We'll pick a date when it's good for you, Melissa. Let you pick a date.
Senior Citizen Committee outreach. So Brian alluded to something that I was looking at starting. It's kind of a riding on the coattails of Livingston Cares. It'd be something in the idea of Lima Cares. It would be also a volunteer and resource type situation, as well as possibly a tool loan program to help people in Lima get stuff done. Shade Tree, I am a little unclear about that, other than I heard that I probably should have been at the Arbor Day.
It was a pretty good day, actually.
So that's good,
Morning.
thank you for
My
filling
trees
this
are still
spot.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I put mine, but, and I didn't know if there's, I don't know what the history is behind what the creation of that particular thing was.
So my understanding again is 5 years old. It was originally, John Waddick was taking lead on it. It is again a celebration of Arbor Day. We got rid of all of the, we handed out all of the pine trees, all but 2 of the maples. The oaks were not a big seller. People were worried that 100 years from now they'd be too large. So I guess something
They plan to still be here, huh?
They plan to stay here. I don't.
Ambitious.
Right.
But what I've done is I've planted them at my house because they're bare sticks. Same with the lilacs that we ordered from the park, which are smaller sticks, to give them time to grow at least a few years till they are viable and not just be rabbit,
I can't, hear what he's saying.
not just be rabbit food. So
Okay.
and deer food. So that's where we're at with that. So.
All right. I didn't know if it also included anything as far as traffic calming and things like that, which is a big deal for what I think we're trying to do throughout the village is that the trees do slow down traffic.
Yeah.
Especially when there's good canopy.
So, yeah, it was 3 years ago that we planted those 45 trees.
Yep, we're from 45.
trees along Main Street.
Village webmaster, I've, for many years, I've worked with Robert Deming. I believe he's doing your website these
Yes.
days, also does the town. We've used him for a lot of things. I believe probably, at a future meeting, I'll put it on the agenda that we should sit down and look at the website, because there are things that need to be corrected probably. And I wouldn't know all of them that needs to be corrected, so taking on a quarterly basis, or at least a yearly, maybe in the organizational meeting might be a good idea. Town liaison, other than, I think it's already on the agenda for the agreement that's coming up. IT security, the server that is the device that allows everyone in the village to log into the network is dying. It's over at the ambulance base. I have a replacement that will donate to the village and replace that unit in the next couple of weeks.
So, there was an initial discussion, Dan, about the server that the town.
The server needs one also, so
Or the town needs one.
I have a redesign that includes kind of a shared service type scenario.
Right.
And then you, me, and John can talk about it and see what can be done.
Right, so the existing server that's over in the town now, is that gonna be repurposed to the ambulance, or do you have an alternative?
Possibly.
Okay,
The one that I'm putting in would be good for that other, it'll be
Okay.
better than the old one here. Let's put it that way.
Because we had that discussion prior,
Yeah.
several months ago.
Yeah, yeah. And it keeps failing, and it's difficult to deal with, because it's even difficult for us to do anything remotely. We have to come here. Luckily, I can do it on the way home.
thank you for that.
And yeah, then I just mentioned the possible the shared services, because the town needs a new server, and if we can put both the village and the town on it, we can cap the cost that we normally have for the infrastructure. That's all I got.
Great, I wanna, bounce off of one of your, line items as far as the downtown revitalization. Louise Wadsworth has been with, the Economic Development and Downtown Revitalization Program for the county for, I don't even know how many years, and she was my first meeting with, the town supervisor, Falk, when I came on board as mayor. And I learned so much from her, because she's done just an amazing job in providing resources for our small business community, for initiation grants, for startup costs, for signage, any kind of financial support for our small businesses to get ramped up and take off. She's retiring next month, and there's gonna be a little going away gathering, which I'll be attending on behalf of the board. But she's on her closing and exit strategy, is she wants to create a Heart of Lima group, which is a national Main Street program. They have a consultant that's gonna come in and meet with the group members. The group tentatively that I've been putting together with Supervisor Cates is myself, Dan Marsalis, and either Aaron from the town board, or Karen Fritz. All will be a part of this transformation to get a strategic plan together for our future downtown revitalization. So we're working on that as we speak. Any other questions for Dan? Thank you, Dan, appreciate your reports, everybody, thank you. Policy and procedure, code of ethics. Dan, you had sent me some information on this, some baseline information. We were pretty much going to use the county's existing code of ethics and try to modify and to polish them for our needs. You wanna have any add-ons or notes to that?
No.
And then ratifying fire and ambulance elections.
So it's my understanding that it's the board's responsibility to ratify the chief and assistant chief of the fire department, so I'd like to, their election, so That would be Chief Gary, Assistant Chief Rigo, and Assistant Chief, give me 1 second, I apologize.
Brian Kenny, right?
Yeah. I would like to put towards the board that we ratify them as the elected officials of the fire department. Was there any discussion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Perfect, thank you, Brian. Old business, fire and ambulance contracts. Matt, you want to update us?
Yeah, the fire and ambulance contracts, I think, are finalized after much talk. The red line versions are in your packets, those are the changes, those changes reflect, the town's comments. The town's comments with my editing, town is fine with this version. Both versions also reflect the correct number, respective numbers. So, unless you guys have questions, I would ask for a resolution to allow the mayor to sign this contract. Obviously, we'll clean it up, the red line will get a nice clean copy. I have the mayor enter into these contracts before the end of the fiscal year.
Yeah, I read through both of the agreements. I don't see any reason that they wouldn't be adoptable.
I think the only one thing that's a little bit different than normal is that in the ambulance contract, the town has offered to pay an additional sum of up to $25,000 for paid services, not to exceed $25,000 to be invoiced by the village. I just put periodically in there so that I figured Alyssa and Meg and everyone else can work out how they want to do that. But otherwise, these are fairly standard evolutions of the contract we've been using for a while now.
Make a motion to have the mayor sign the contract for the ambulance service
With these said edits.
with these amendments.
I will make a motion to have the mayor, to finish out.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I will make a motion to allow the mayor to sign the agreement for the fire department as written with the lawyers, Tom's lawyers edits.
And a second on that, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so,
Thank you very much.
so moved. Thanks for your work on that, Matt.
Thank you.
Language interpreter policy?
I don't know what we're waiting on,
I went to you guys last week and you were or last month and everyone was supposed to review and come up with something.
And we probably need a little more time to review on that.
My bad, sorry.
No.
Have we had any requests for services?
Excuse me.
You can, well, let's do it. We'll recycle it on the agenda for next one.
Yes, please. I apologize, I had a big star beside that too. That is my slip. Dan, I'm gonna let you take responsibility for that one.
Fine.
New trustee,
New guy.
new trustee comes with new responsibilities.
Is there a way we can get an electronic copy of that sent to us by chance?
I'll email it.
Thank you.
That would be very helpful, thank you.
Traffic calming petition, Brian, you got some info on
I
that?
do. I presented to the board, town board last week. Myself, along with Karen and Walt Fritz, have moved through the suggestion of Supervisor Kate. There has been a long-term recognition that the traffic speeds, particularly on coming from the west on Main Street, are excessive, both coming into and out of the village. I had asked last year, October, for the town, because the traffic calming would actually be in the town instead of the village, to look into the issue. One of the responses has been that it would be best to have public input from the citizenry. I've created a petition for the implementation of traffic calming measures in the town of Lima to the south and west approaches of the village. This is a written document that will be I actually passed through the Lima Golden Agers today. Myself and the Fritz family will intend to pass this through our neighborhood in a walking. Walking also set up a jot form online petition that also has about 46 respondents so far. The purpose is to give the people of the village and the town of Lima a voice of concern. Then the town can take that, we'll ask the town to present that to the Livingston County Traffic Board as well as New York State DOT. Again, because this is interdepartmental, both the village wants this, the town is where it's located, the state owns the roads, and the people are the ones that want to do it. I think it's going to take a combined effort, all at the speed of the state. So if you're interested, again, here's both the petition as well as the supporting document for the reason of the petition, which I did share with both Alyssa and Jennifer Himes to put onto the websites of the town and village respectively. So if there's any discussion or questions?
I like it. I mean, I think it's important to recognize that my daughter is just starting to drive, and I'm driving around all the time and coming off Dalton and Michigan Ave, and I tell her speed limit's 30 there, but people aren't going 30, they're coming at 55. So I know people that pull out Dalton all the time and don't realize how fast cars are going. So I think it's neat.
And I pull out of Michigan, and some 20 years ago there was a fatality there, again attributable to excessive speed. And again, we've had multiple incidences at the four corners here as people come down the hill, exceeding the speed limit. So those are the things that one of the things that we're working on again as a citizen, but I appreciate the support of the village board and the town board on that. So.
Yeah, something we've been pushing for several years, and we're finally getting to get some proactivity on it.
The feedback from online feedback, the only sort of I don't want to call negative, was that people should be following the speed limits, and putting up another sign won't make that happen. I tend to agree with that for some people, but for most people to understand that the speed limit is now 40, it's easier to get towards 40 and then get towards 30 by the time you enter the village, and then 15 when you're near the school. And these are the things that I think would help. Beyond that, it's up to the law enforcement officer to interface with sheriffs and state police to enforce that, and to the town and the judges in the town to set examples of what speeding through the village and town really should cost people.
So if you've already filled out the jot form online, then there's...
Yeah, you don't need to fill it out twice. So again, there are people that utilize online and social media, and there's people that don't. So we're trying to reach everyone, every citizen who's interested, that's 18 years and older and lives in the town or village of Lima.
Any other questions regarding this matter?
If anyone wants to sign it, it'll be right here. It hasn't.
Moving along to the Park Master Plan Committee.
Again, with Josh and even Steve, we are having a meeting on Thursday at 6:30 here. The final composite of the folks that are going to be the master plan citizens should be compiled at Thursday and completed. We will then task them with going out and working with the community to inform the Parks Commission on the desires and wants of the community. Then they'll bring that back to us to help inform the overall master plan addendum, which again, this is not a new master plan, it's an addendum to the prior three from the 2019. Anything else, Josh, to add to that? No. Steve?
Well, other than one of our major goals, and we are now very actively pursuing it and moving forward with looking at a community center and getting maybe some plans started. And we've got a kind of a plan in place where the funding is all coming from now. We're not going to have to go out after any kind of grant money. We have 100% of the money at this point to do the community center if the people of the community want it. So it's the vision of this person to have it done within the next 2 to 3 years, I would believe, in a realistic form. So that is one of the major goals going forward.
And that has been a long-term goal in every iteration of the park master plan going back to 2019. Really, actually depending on funding, which is what we've worked on for the last several years now to secure that from very generous donors. So that's where we're at.
Outstanding, thank you all. Moving along to new business, Lima Ambulance Foundation grant support letter, we've already been through. Grant proposals for MRB group.
Yep, so I think I can touch base on some of this stuff here coming up. So we met with MRB, and this is basically going, two main topics. One is all from the IAI study, and the stormwater, the flooding that we've had, along with some stuff going on with the sewer plant, and different things down there with, like Dave said, you know, we're having some infiltration going through there. We spent the money to have all these studies done. We've had many community residents ask, okay, we're still flooding, what's the village gonna do on it, right? So I got with Pat, and Dave and I sat down with them, we went through some stuff. Through the book that they gave us coming through, we picked out a couple of the areas that we said, okay, one of them, Buell Ave, right? The pipe under Buell Ave that's flooding out all the time. Let's pick that project as one because it takes a lot of disruption. It's a road thing, people can't get by, blah, blah, blah. We're gonna look at this one.
Thank you.
You know, we've got that one on there, and the other one is for the Genesee Street people over by the Save a Lot dollar store. I know I pointed out to you, John, coming through there. Problem is, the pipes aren't big enough to handle the flow. So we have two different sides that come in from the west over there, that all combine into one. So the design that they did comes over here, upsizes the two pipes, and where they wide together, we're gonna have a bigger pipe and even come up all the way to the library, right? Gonna help a lot of people. There's a whole bunch that are in there, you can't pick everything on this, and the reason why I say this, the Buell Ave project, to just put that pipe across the road and get to a ditch, approximately $300,000. The dollar store upsizing of the pipes coming through there, $585,000, okay? We're talking for those two projects, close to $1 million, okay, to be realistic. Now, there's other areas in the village too we'd love to go and do more about, but there's only so much that can be done. So Pat went through, MRB went through, they went through, first we were gonna go through a NIWEAD, they went through all these different ones. There's actually a DEC one that's coming out. It's a green stormwater infrastructure one coming through. It's a 90-10 grant, okay? This fits into that for the stormwater one coming through. So as you see in your proposals, to do that one, for the engineering stuff, it was the 11,600 or whatever it is for that. This one has to be in within the next month, so we've gotta get on this. Now, the good thing is, we're shovel ready. We've already got the designs in, we've got this. They will start moving on this to get this in for this application. So I would like to move forward with this one. I think this one would be important to, you know, look into and see what we can do, even at $1 million, 90 times, do the math, it's 100,000. We can figure something out for this coming through. And that's at last year's costs, right, from when they designed everything. We know how everything is going up and up. But this is just to point out that, you know, people think, oh, why haven't we done any of this stuff? Literally, if we could have, we would have, you know.
That's the $1 million question.
It's a $1 million question. So I'd like the board to approve to move forward for the one for the stormwater first.
Get a motion to approve the stormwater grant
Yeah,
pursuant
for sure one, I
with
think.
MRB group.
So they
Not have a resolution.
MRB provided a model resolution, which they think will put us in the best spot to get the.
Oh, there it is.
So, you know, this is the resolution we want to enter. I will note, it does obligate you for that 10% match. So if you get the money, great, but if you did come up with that 10% match, from, out of your general fund, you can always borrow that money if you have to. But that's the only flag I would raise on that.
Yeah, once again.
Well worth it, I think.
If it comes up, okay, and I would hate to say this, but just one spitballing thing coming through, okay? We put a lot of money into reserves, not just into the village streets and other things like that. If for 1 year, we had to sacrifice 1 year's worth of planning to get $100,000 out of our reserves that would then take care of Genesee Street, Livingston Street, Buell Ave, this, that, the other thing. In the best interest, I mean, I know I need dump trucks and backhoes and planning and fire trucks and things like this, but if it came down to where we needed $100,000 and we took it and said, for 1 year, we're gonna forego the reserve accounts, I think it might benefit
This
the
is the
community,
project,
if
isn't
we had to. And once again, this is just spitballing off one way of getting the money for it, if not other ways that, you know, unless there'd be to figure out, but, well, it's just one, because you can be accounting part of it, but,
Just don't find it.
yeah,
Thank
exactly.
you for that perspective, Ben, because we do recognize that the stormwater has become, the last 2 years, we've had 200-year events.
Yeah.
So it is an issue, so.
Yeah, so if we can get this one passed and moving,
And we're okay with this resolution?
Yeah.
I will make a motion to accept the resolution that MRV has written for the stormwater grant,
Green Innovation Grant Program.
Green Innovation Program.
Second by Dan Marsalis.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
probably does.
Ben, this MRB program that we're talking about, does this include Livingston Street?
So this is a DEC program that's coming through, and the water that's coming from Livingston comes to Genesee Street, that then comes over there. Now, in specific, there's one house that is below grade. There isn't anything we can do with that. It's gonna help the water move faster, but the problem is for it to get into the catch basins at that house, it's already up 1.5 feet, you know, kind of thing. So, once it gets up to 1.5 feet and falls into the catch basins, it's gonna help. The problem at that house is elevation for the most part.
I know that house, they put a lot of work into it this past summer, and I know the last rain that we had, he was dry, so that's good.
And the other part is that Ben and the crew spend an awful lot of time and resources every time we have even a moderate rain going through. So we, we've had a long-term obvious issue that we need to, if we can, address in a cohesive way. So again, I'm happy to make that recommendation.
And my main concern is our most valuable resource is you and the crew. You put yourself in harm's way and safety, I mean, you got rushing water.
Fire department's out there
Fire
pumping
department,
basements too,
yeah,
all the way
they're-
through, you know.
yeah,
We work as a team, because we're all part of the village one way or the other. But so, that's the first one, so we're gonna move on that, okay. Second one coming up is the NIWEA one, the WQIP, they all have different percentages that we could get coming forth that. So Dave went through, picked out, and I talked to him about it, and we kinda got a little plan. We said, let's see if we can get 10, 12 items that are on this list that came out of the study. Keep it cheap, keep it low, $100,000 or something, thinking, okay, cause the sewer plant, we don't have a lot of reserves built up in it, right? But these are still vital things that we have to take care of. So we are trying to figure out about $100,000 worth of stuff, give or take, that we could get done, hoping that we could catch somebody out there that said, hey, we're gonna give big money here, here's one for 100,000, low hanging fruit, just, they pass it out is what we were hoping for, right? So we picked out 10 to 12 things that are gonna help do things. MRB came through, they looked at some stuff, all right, yeah, they don't believe that it's going to score very high going with a smaller project like that. So I asked them to come back out, walk through the plan again with Dave. I pinpointed a couple of things that I thought would be important, and then said, David, just follow this up, because you know the plan better than I do right now. But there's the pistol gritter, stuff in the influent building that is working right now, but Dave has it, he's been massaging it to keep it going, right? These are $200,000 pieces of equipment that's hanging on for what we're doing, that eventually it's gonna have to get replaced, but we don't know when or how we're gonna pay for it to do it. So these are things that we're talking about, that maybe we put that into the project and go from there. Well, MRB did the walkthrough, and they picked not just 1, 2, 3, 4. They found a whole bunch of stuff that they thought would be great to put in there. Problem is, now the price of the project is going up, and up, and it's more than what we think we can handle on our 20% match of it, while we still have bonds out now on the other projects.
Right.
Okay, so we're in the predicament, so before we sign this one that MRB does, I'm gonna get with Dave, we're gonna talk to MRB again, we're gonna try to narrow it down, because we've still got about a month and a half before the other one has to be signed. So I'm hoping by somewhere in the June meeting, or before it comes up, we can get them to narrow it down to give us a better idea. Okay, yeah, this would be wonderful to have the whole buffet, however, we're only going the right side or something. and see what we think prioritize a little bit more, see if we can get it knocked down a little bit more, where we think maybe it's gonna be manageable for what we can do, better chances of it. So even though, yes, this is a great proposal they sent to us, okay, to spend the $20,000 on their engineering parts of it, when I think there's still a little, we need everything they're asking. The problem is, we just not in a position to move forward.
Right.
So I'm gonna keep working on this, Dave's gonna keep working on it, we'll get back to you again in June with it, you know, kind of thing. The main one, because time-wise, I wanna get the stormwater in and get moving on that. This one, we're gonna just kind of keep working on it a little bit with it.
Yeah, I know we talked about, I mean, and for the benefit of Dan and Ben, because you guys are the newer ones to the board, but we had talked about pulling back the reins on any additional expenses and spending, because we've got a lot of money out there on bond and a lot of notes. We were just gonna kind of pull back the reins and not do this. However, this 90-10 opportunity, it doesn't come around that often, and it's something we need to seriously consider. And I'm sure that's the first way to go. And if they can come back around with better understanding for the infrastructure program for the sewer plant, then, you know, we just need to look at it and consider it.
Yeah, like I said, I try to do everything being fiscally responsible for what it is. These things are all a necessity that at some point we're gonna need, you know, type of thing. But I wanna try to pinpoint down a little bit more of what we're gonna do with Dave and everybody get situated with it.
Fair, appreciate the consideration. Where are we at? Civil War reenactment resolution.
Yes, so July 16th through the 19th, we have previously passed a resolution allowing for activities at Martups Park that are not normally allowed, such as camping and horses and shooting of cannons. Small fires, and what I'm asking is that we use the same resolution, changing the dates to July 16th through the 19th, 2026. As written.
Say that again, dates.
Nope, July, the third weekend of, we will be always the third weekend of July, which this year is the 16th through the 20th, or the 19th. It's actually through the 19th. So.
Could we get a motion,
I'll
please?
make a motion to just use the same letter, but to shift the dates from July 16th through the 19th to allow all the things that the reenactment's gonna do, fires and all that kind of stuff.
Same resolution as last year.
Same resolution as last year? All in favor?
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Discussion.
Next,
Brian, real quick, if you reach out to them, I will supply them with a truckload of firewood again.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
awesome.
Oh, you're the best, thank you.
If you'd let them know.
They really were grateful for that last year.
Wood and ice were the two things that they were very grateful for.
That really is a great opportunity. I think the community loves seeing that and being there and showing up for that, so.
You know, as living history, again, it is an opportunity for us to shine. There are people from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Canada, and all over New York that come to Lima. So we're very appreciative of having that kind of an activity. The next one, I'll just move on to the Lima Pumpkin Festival resolution. Same resolution as last year with a change of dates from October 2nd to October 4th to allow for activities in the park that are normally not, including the closing of Ziegler Drive.
Should be October 3rd, right?
It's actually on October 3rd, but I'm adding a date to either side to allow for setup and cleanup for those activities. So including all of the resolution activities from last year.
As long as Ben's okay with it.
Yep. Get a motion to accept. Bingo.
Motion to accept the festival resolution for October 2nd through the 4th, 2026.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Nice job, folks. Any additional comments? Matt, do you have anything?
We do have a brief executive session.
Very good. Yes, Mr. Duff.
Yeah, when Kelly was filming the plaque ceremony,
Yes, sir.
the corner at the north side of the Four Corners on 15A, next to Walt Fritz's house, she got stuck in her electric wheelchair in a little pothole in the sidewalk.
Is there a little square one that used to be blacktop,
Yes,
that's on our list, we're going to concrete that over.
and that's, oh my God. Sorry guys.
That's okay.
But-
We did notice that coming through, but we did do some concrete work downtown
Yep.
this summer, getting ready for, the mulch and everything. We just ran out of time down there on that far side. I think it's one bag that we can get, or one load to drop down out of our mixer, and we're gonna try to take care of that too.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Alright.
And if I could, I only need about 25 minutes. Good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'll give this to Matt to look at. We're 3 months ahead of our insurance. We kind of indicate this today as a group. That should be enough coverage. That covers us for the whole week down there at the park, our help, and our main core people. So I think there's what, over 5-6 million in coverage now they've got on, however you want to look at it. It's going to be the front sheet we're going with.
Yeah.
And the back one was for 5,000 or more people. We're not quite there. We're awfully close, but we feel we can, we're going with that one for now. And I will get you copies of that. So,
Yeah, give me the list.
yeah, I'll drop it off to you at the office.
Thank you.
So, also I'd like to thank everybody, if I leave anybody out, I'll just generally say thank you for coming up last Saturday. I was disappointed that the mayor and Matt did not enter the coloring contest, but hey, we had
So I will make a confession, I had a 7-year-old who did a coloring and I forgot to top it off. I know. Add it to the list of failures of my life.
But Caleb Lewis, I believe it's up here, he was the winner. It was a people's choice. They voted. We also this year.
Steve, please?
Yeah,
Right there.
right there.
Looks nice.
So he was the winner of $25 cash from our committee. We this year also, we've been picking an associate group that works with us at the festival. This year was the Historical Society, and we were able to partner with them and raise a little over $200 for them at the event.
Nice.
I think it was like 210, 215, somewhere in there. That Fran told me the total was. So that's that. We're way ahead on our fundraising. We've had some new big sponsors come in. We are anticipating, I don't want to speak totally for the group, but seeing how I headed up, kind of maybe held back a little this year, knowing there's a couple big projects needed at the park. One is maybe ADA compliant pass trails that we've got to work on, that will absolutely have to work in stages. There's no way you're going to do this all in 1 year, but that's our anticipated goal, to hopefully come up with a healthy 5-figure donation this year after the festival for that. That's about all I have for that, but we have a meeting next Tuesday night, and things are going very good with that as far as this year's planning. Meg reached out to me. I've been trying to help her. As you know, she's getting a new building donated by Superior, and she was having trouble getting other stuff, so I reached out to Heidelberg, talked to their salesman. They are going to be donating all the crushed stones, so if we can work with the village or somebody to roll it in, Ben, 8 to 10 ton, we figured, for the 20 by 20 area, 4+ inches thick. And if we can roll that in, that'll give us pretty darn good solid base. I talked to Sean today. If you don't want to haul that in a 10-ton, your trucks, probably one big, the town truck, he said no problem hauling that up there. They'll work with us to get the material up there.
And who's this, Heidelberg?
Hanson Heidelberg, yeah. She was also had reached out, I know, Charlie, and heard nothing back. I don't know if Lowe's doesn't get back on these community support deals. So I got reached out to 3 overhead door companies: Precision, Martin Doors, who are very, very good door company down the road here in Geneva, and Rolly Door. Rolly Door did not get back to me yet. Precision gave me a quote today at $1,300 installed for a 108 by 84 inch tall, 108 panels wide. Martin came in at 7:45. Now this is gonna be an uninsulated door. I don't see any need for insulation on a door, with a turn and a lock on it. And they said, what about installation? I said, well, I'm sure we can find somebody. To me, this is a no-brainer. $175 to install it. You're not trying, yeah. So their bid came in at $920. Again, I'll get that. Installed, $920. So I doubt Rolly's gonna be able to beat that, but we'll see what they come back at. I reached out also for windows for 36.5 by 60.5 double hung. I had 4 different contacts, went to Habitat for Humanity. They have nothing in that size right now. I have contacted Wonder Windows, Pace, and Comfort, all 3 good names, and I should have quotes back in the next day or 2 from on the windows. And that's gonna be 2 windows. The biggest thing was to confirm the material from Hanson, and this way she can now reach out to Superior. They can start on the project and get it ready, the 20 by 20 building for the loom closet.
That's beautiful.
So,
Nice job, Steve.
that's all I have.
Not a labor command, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Steve, have you tried Home Outlet in Geneseo? They have vinyl windows, pretty cheap there.
Home Outlet?
Home Outlet, yeah. They're right next to the plaza.
So they're right behind that, beside the Italian restaurant.
I will call them tomorrow morning.
Fantastic.
For where
Or
this building is going, is it staked out yet, where we have?
That you'll have to ask Meg. That I've not been involved with. Unless, Dan, do you know where it's going? I thought it was gonna be where the old one is. That one is gonna be hauled away. And we will need a little site work done.
That's what I was wondering about. Once again, between Sean, because Sean's a very good operator, he's got the bigger equipment, to move stuff around. If Sean needs a hand or isn't up there, I'm more than happy to help out with what we can. I know when I talked to Meg about it earlier, she had wanted to keep the building in the back, kind of thing, for what she was doing, and then have it there, or you have another building put someplace, because it's on blacktop now, which is why I was wondering if you're putting stone just on top of the blacktop. I figured you're putting it in a different spot, which to me I thought would be she's keeping the old building. But I didn't know where we're gonna put the stone, let's just say, to put it there, because off the parking lot, I'm assuming it's gonna be more on the west side. It does travel down a little bit, where they'd have to beef it up a little bit.
Correct, that's my understanding, somewhere on that west or southwest corner of the parking lot.
That's what I figured, from, to describe, the only reason why I would think you.
And last I knew, the building was gonna be removed and somebody was gonna take it or whatever. I don't know.
She may have changed plans from, once again, I've spoken to her here or there about it, kind of a thing. I just, it's great that the stone's coming, but if she decides to put it on the blacktop, don't need the stone. I just
That's
don't.
correct, no,
Yeah,
that's why we need the stone, yeah, it's gonna have to be an area dug out, sounds like, and I guess I'll get with her now,
Try to
and tell her to
pinpoint it.
get with you too to,
Yeah, because there is nothing on the back. When we did all the utilities for the building, everything is in the front, I call it the front of the building, and on the east side coming forth. So that back corner of the parking lot.
so we shouldn't have to call, was it 411
Well,
to
the Dixon,
dig?
you'd still call, but there's not gonna be anything out there, kind of thing. So we should be good. There's no electric. That'd be the only thing you'd have to worry about. That would be to where the solar or whatever, but that would have ran up the ditch on the side by the trailer park. So if she's over in that back corner, she should.
To my knowledge it is, yep.
Okay, any other comments for Steve? If not, we'll get a motion to adjourn.
I'll take a motion to adjourn regular session and enter executive session.
Second? Second. All in favor?
All right.